Hey guys, it's Julia and welcome back to Juliart. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make these miniature gumball machines. So to get started, I'm using a miniature flower pot that I just got at a Michael's craft store. And today I'm going to be making a blue gumball machine, and so I'm going to be painting my flower pot blue, but again you can pick any color that you want. Now since I have one hand, a way that I find it makes it easier to paint things is if you put it on tweezers to help hold it. I used acrylic paint for this, so I did about 2 coats before I was happy with it, but depending on what kind of paint you use, you might have to do more or less coats. Then we're just going to put that aside, and next I'm going to bring in some blue tack. Now I really like using blue tack to hold small things in place while I do things with them. So here is a glass orb that I got in my local Dysol, and this is going to be the top part of the gumball machine. Next we're going to get some of these little foam pom-pom beads, and again, since I'm making a blue gumball machine, I'm just filling this orb up with blue and white pom-poms. Then I'm setting that aside as well. Next I'm going to be taking this jewelry attachment that came with my glass orb, and I'm going to be cutting the top off of it. Now this is going to be the top of the gumball machine, and so I'm going to paint this the same color that I painted my flower pot. So when painting smooth stuff like this, I've realized that I like to use some sort of gloss and paint that on first, because then it gives the glue something to stick to so that you don't have to do it so many coats of paint later, but this part's totally optional. Then you just want to paint your top part and set that aside. Next we're going to bring our flower pot back in. Now I'm just going to take some glue, and this is where we are going to attach the top part of our gumball machine to the bottom. So just bring your glass orb thing back, and you're going to flip your flower pot over onto your orb, and then you're going to want to flip that back over it and make sure that it's positioned in the center. Then we're going to get our top thing, make sure that it's all dry, and we're just going to glue this on the top of our gumball machine, also making sure that it's centered. Next I'm adding a bit more glue on the top. This part's optional, but I think adding a little pom-pom bead at the top kind of makes it look more finished and kind of cuts that raw edge that we created when cutting the top off. Next I'm going to get a little sequin out of this container, and I think that this looks really good for the hole where the gumball comes out. You could really use anything though. You could use different beads, or you could cut out a little piece of paper to put on this if you don't have sequins. And there you have it. This is the end of the first gumball machine that I'm going to be showing you. Next, for the second one, you're going to need a small earphone attachment and a smaller size orb that we used from the first one. I also got this one at Dysol. Then I'm going to be taking some of these tiny little beads that I also got at Dysol, and I'm just going to be filling up this orb with those. I want these to kind of be more fancier looking candies in this machine. Next I'm going to be taking a dowel, and I'm just going to use this to stick through the middle of the earphone to kind of give the glass orb something to stick to when I connect them, and to also give it something to stand on. So I'm just going to cut that dowel to size, take it out, and then we are going to sand it to make sure that it will stand flat on the table when it's done. Then I'm going to bring back my glue and just add a little bit to the inside of the earphone, and then I'm going to add my wooden dowel inside. Now just make sure that it's flush on the top, and so that the gumball part will sit nicely on top. Next we're going to bring the gumball part back, add more glue, and then we're going to do the same thing as the first one. We're going to flip over the bottom and put it on the top. and then we're going to flip it over and make sure that it's straight. Next, we're going to get the jewelry attachment that also came with the small orb. We're going to cut off the top just like we did with the first one. And for this one, I decided not to paint it because I thought that the gold looked pretty, but again, you could totally paint it, it's up to you. Then I'm just going to add glue to the bottom of it and attach it to the top of my gumball machine. Now for this one, I'm still going to be using a sequin, but I decided to use one a little bit different than the last one. I'm going to be using this gold one to kind of match the top gold part and to kind of change things up from the first one. So that's the end of this video. I really hope that you guys enjoy mixing and matching colors and designs and adding stands and making smaller miniature ones. You can really make these however you want. So these are the finished product. I really hope you guys liked it, and I hope you'll give it a like down below and subscribe for more videos from me in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!